Guys, deluded, I'm back again. YouTube's Lucas Torreira, YouTube's N'Golo Kante and all of them things. I hope you're all doing fine and dandy on this late Sunday afternoon or late evening or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't know what 6 p.m. is called in you guys' countries, but in mine it's classed as the evening. I know some countries classed as the afternoon. Yeah, moving on. Now, I was browsing Twitter and things as you do, trying to just keep in the loop in regards to what's happening at Arsenal. If any, I know a lot of it's noise in regards to the transfers and stuff, but you might miss a gem in it, and obviously I need to make vids. Well, there's a couple things that I've seen. We might as well talk about Lucas Torreira, Chambers, this Vida guy, and yeah, I don't think have I got anything else. No, I ain't got anything else. But let's start firstly with Calum Chambers. Now, Calum Chambers polarizes opinion. Personally, I believe there's a rough diamond of sorts. I'm not here to say a man can be the best English defender since John Derry. He can be Arsenal's best defender since Tony Adams. I'm not here to say all of that. I believe the man was very good last year. Obviously, I'm exaggerating a bit because no one was really that good last year. Collectively, we finished 6th. When called upon, he did his thing last year. Atletico Madrid, he did his thing. AC Milan, he did his thing. Chelsea, when we was playing Chelsea almost every week, and he stepped in, he did his thing. He stepped up when counted, in my opinion. So, and yeah, he obviously signed a new deal this year. We tried to flog him last year. We tried to, there was even rumours Palace will come back in for him. Signed a new deal under the new manager, whether that's to retain his resale value, to lock down homegrown players in regards to the listings, in regards to the competition rules, whether that was because we believe somewhat in his future long term. It could have been for any reason. Either way, he signed a new long term deal, and there was rumours Unai Emery was going to kind of include him in his plans, and he wanted him to stay and fight and be part of the side. That's a good touch of faith for a young man who's actually seen another centre-half coming to the club. And if you're honest, he's shown potential more often than not under Wenger, apart from his first season where he for me, excelled at centre-half / full-back when given a chance. He was slotted in defensive mid, centre-half, right back, and it's not good for your development to constantly be thrown everywhere, to not really get a consistent run. And his loan spell at Middlesbrough was very good. So now to see that he's linked with a loan spell to Fulham, ironically, he's allegedly meant to travel up there to complete a medical. It leaves me with a lot of feelings. Firstly, I'd have to be inclined to believe that I'd like to think another centre-half's arriving, because there was talk of 2 centre-halves coming into this club anyways. If one's departing, surely someone at some capacity has got to come. Has Mavropanos and Holding leapt ahead of Chambers in the pecking order? Is he not flavour of the month? Do we just want him to continue his development and come back stronger? There's many reasons for it. Personally, I would have liked to have kept him at the club because another centre-half hasn't arrived. But if you look at the amount of centre-halves at the club, there's a lot. Unai Emery concedes he wants to go with somewhat experience or whatever. Or he deems other people more experienced. There's not much we can tell him. I do think Holding, on the basis that he hasn't played many professional games, would benefit more from a loan spell than Chambers, to be honest. But it is what it is. If he goes on loan to Fulham, he joins a team that wants to stay in the Prem, better chance of staying in. What am I talking about? Staying in the side week in, week out, playing games. Obviously, they're trying to fight relegation. He's been there before. He plays for. He's not really young anymore, but he's still young. Their manager likes to give young players chances, like you see with Sessegnon. So join a forward-thinking club. They've done good business in the market. So at least if they're trying to stay in the league, they're here with a fight. So for me, I wouldn't loan out Chambers. I see it a bit as pointless. But if another centre-half's arriving that's competent, fair play. But then no disrespect to Vida, who we've been linked with. I don't really rate him too tough. Again, my opinion isn't fact, and if he was to sign for the club, which I don't think is going to happen, if he signs for the club, stand behind him, and I won't berate him and stuff, but for me it makes no sense. He's hardly the convincing. I mean, he's 29 years of age. He's been around for a while. He's been at Zagreb. He's been at Kiev. He recently moved to Besiktas in January, I believe. He's 29. He's been about. People know him. He's played at a World Cup and things. People know him, but there's a reason why he's not at a top club. For me, he had a couple good performances at the World Cup, credit where due. Him and Lovren did their thing. They're in the fight. They got to the final, and was it against Nigeria? He was doing his thing. But for me, I don't really think he don't convince me. Like he's okay. I'm not gonna berate him as a footballer, but I don't see how it's convincing. For me, surely if you're bringing in a centre half, rather than sign these players, don't you bring in quality or someone that's deemed better than what you have? And at 29 years of age, I don't really think he stands out apart from any of our other centre halves, to be quite frankly honest with you. And on top of that, again, if we're looking at it, that Liechtenstein's 34, Socrates is 29 or so, Monreal's getting on a bit. Collectively throughout the side, there's a lot of older heads. So if we're looking at it from an experience point of view, then fair enough. But on top of not being convincing, it's £25 million move. We've barely got any money allegedly. So why are you going to spend 25 million on the centre half you're not even sure starts at your club? Again, if he proves me wrong, he proves me wrong. But how could you? He's 29 as well. It's not even like he's a thing where he's a quality centre half and you can make exceptions to the age. But with him, with Socrates, with Monreal, with a couple others, we're gonna find ourselves, no disrespect, but could potentially become a retirement home because these players are on the decline. We're not AC Milan, Juventus, and these things where we have, specifically Juventus, where we have systems that can protect these older players. Or AC Milan, definitely when they had Seedorf and Ronaldinho, they're giving them potions to make them younger and stuff. We don't do that. I can't see it. I mean, on top of that, I'll be fair to Vida. He can play fullback as well. He's a brave centre-half. He's committed. I just don't feel he's at the level to benefit this club. And it'd be a proper bad signing, in my opinion. 25 million on him doesn't convince me at all, in my opinion. There's rumours that, there's a bit of mixed rumours, to be fair, about Mustafi, Wolves and Ospina. Allegedly, 2 of the 3 or 1 of the 3 will go to Besiktas as part of the deal. Some people are saying that couple of these players that I've just named need to be moved on before additional arrivals can come in. So we'll see what happens on that front. But I can't really see it, man. Like I said, he made his name at Kiev and Zagreb. 104 appearances, also 100 odd appearances for Kiev, scoring around 10 goals. Zagreb 44, scored 6. So he does know how to put his head in or whatever. He joined Besiktas in January, so I don't know if it's because of the World Cup and the good performances. If other sides want him, he's linked with Wolves, driving up the price. I don't know. The interest might be legit. And then obviously Lucas Perez, I believe he's on 70k. We're having a problem moving him on. We've agreed deals with, I believe, if you believe anything, you've seen Lazio, you've seen Fiorentina, you've seen West Ham, you've seen Sporting, all willing to pay the £5 million money for him. The only problem is his wages. Apparently he's on 70k and he hasn't been convincing and things like that. Now, there's a problem at Arsenal. It's a bitter pill to swallow if we can't get rid of a man and free up wages. But there's a serious problem at Arsenal in regards to moving players on. We take forever to sell players on. There's question marks over our contracts. There's question marks over how we're dealing with young players with potential for the first team. And definitely when you consider Danny Ings regardless of what you think about Perez, Danny Ings has barely kicked a ball for Liverpool of recent years. And when he has, it's been in insignificant games or insignificant minutes. One is going to be sold for 25 million. One is going to be sold for 5 million. Vima of Spurs, they sold him for 18 odd, and then obviously they shafted Stoke because they've sold him on. We sold Gabriel for peanuts. There's something wrong at this club in regards to that. I don't know what Ings' wages are on, and obviously maybe because he's English that helped him in regards to making him a more of an attractive proposition because he's classed as homegrown, but something's wrong. So it's a shame we can't get rid of Perez. I don't really want Chambers to go on loan, to be honest with you, even though it will benefit him greatly. I'm not a fan of Vida. If he comes, I'm not going to berate him every minute, but it just would be a typical Arsenal signing of recently. Just signing players that are not going to take us to the next level, players that can't bring us up that level. It's just, I mean, you guys have access to several scouting softwares, access to several scouts collectively throughout the world, and you're looking at Vida. No disrespect to the man again, but something's wrong. There's nothing more to say, man. There's also going to be no retail market value, resale value. There's a prospect of there will become a time where Vida, Socrates, Monreal, Liechtenstein, Czech, and all of these players at a point might just be on the wages and it might be hard to flog them off because they're getting to the end of their careers. We find, with no disrespect to them, but we could become a retirement home on that regards. Again, I'm not ageist and things like that. If he comes here at 29, you still got a couple of years left as a top centre-half, but these things don't happen at Arsenal. We need someone that's potential to be better than what we have, potential that gives us confidence in the defence. Scouts need to do their job because I'm sure there must be an unknown centre-half for 5 million or so somewhere in the world. Like all of these great centre-halves were once upon a time. Goldie's a linchpin in modern-day centre-halves defending for me. At a point, he must have been at a lesser-known club in Uruguay. So scouts, do your job. It's not hard. I don't know who to suggest to you guys, but I know scouts have the time, the resources, and the intelligence to a degree to go and find these players. Guys, deluded. Get in the comments, subscribe, do the rest. I'm out. Thank you very much for watching and rocking and staying with me. And enjoy what's left of your late evening. I'm out.